Ross came out when? Thursday? Friday?
Somewhere
something like that.
Friday.
Oh man, was I in heaven. Now hold up. Let me give the listeners some backstory here, because I'm going to talk a lot this podcast. Maul and Ice have argued Jeezy versus Ross in our group chat for the past year. For people like me who don't really follow the both of them so exclusively, it's annoying, right? Mm-hmm. It's annoying because the argument is they both are not at their peak. That's what it is. And then Maul always combats that with Ross is making better music, right? Mm-hmm. So for a year, I've had to deal with that. And I haven't purchased what's Ross's last album?
I think it was Black Market was the name of it.
I didn't buy it.
It wasn't bad. It was actually a pretty good album.
But I didn't buy it.
Radar. Mm-hmm.
Ross has projects to go under the radar. But anyway, I bought this Ross album, and man, oh man, music heaven. Amazing album, right? So I have that album, and I don't really give a fuck about anything else because I have this Ross album. Really.
Right.
That's how in tune I am with the job he did, Bink did, whoever the fuck was involved in that project, Sav. I was just like proud dad. I was acting like I A&R'd that shit. That's how fire the Ross shit was, right?
It was hard to get past the intro because the intro was so fire.
Then it was hard to get past track 2.
Number 2, yeah, the shit that Bink did.
Yeah, and then it's just hard, right? So, but that's not the funny part. So I'm in heaven with the Ross shit. Saturday morning comes, it's a beautiful foggy day. It's rainy, it's snowy in Jersey, it's fucked up over here. Rory calls me early in the morning, because like the fucking gay dudes we are, Rory has to listen to every Drake release with me for the past, 4 releases now? So I forgot that Drake was dropping Saturday. Mm-hmm. You know, the pushbacks and
go ahead.
I know you don't, but I mean, just with the pushbacks and just I wasn't following exclusively. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really following the leaks. Really, I wasn't really. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So Rory calls me like a kid on Christmas Eve at fucking 7:00 in the morning on Saturday. Well, that's my version.
Yeah, no, we'll go with your version.
Yeah,
I did start the conversation with Happy More Life Day, though. I will admit.
Yeah, you said Happy More Life Day, so that reminded me. So I said, "Hey, so wait, that's today, right?" Yeah. Rory says yes. I say, "All right, great." So Rory's gonna come over later. We're gonna fucking check it out, right? Mm-hmm. Then I talk to Maul, and I tell Maul, and I want to, and I want
in London with Drake for the release,
and I want to have this documented. When I call Maul, and More Life comes up, I say to Maul, I am not discussing this project at all. 0 on this podcast. And you said what? You just laughed.
I laughed, and I asked you if Complex had the exclusive. If Complex had the exclusive,
this just
interview.
His little side
I thought Complex put the gag on you, like, yo, you can't go about it on your podcast and talk about it. You got to wait, come here first.
I forgot
because I knew you was gonna talk about the project. I mean, you can't not talk about a Drake project.
Just the fuck,
good or bad, you cannot not talk about a Drake project.
Well, and that's where I'm going. In the event that the project was a bad project. Mm-hmm. Well, I was not going to be the one
to say
that.
Okay.
Or dissect it, or address it. Like, I would have just left it alone. And so when I said that to you, I was totally of the belief that he would be dropping some bullshit.
Okay. But you know what's funny? I don't know how music is a matter of opinion, right? And some people are going to love certain projects and certain records, and some people are going to hate them. You're not going to please everybody on every project. But I don't understand how people still feel like it's capable for Drake to drop a completely whack project. I think he's too musically inclined, and he's too strategic, and he's too thought out for it to be whack. You may not like it. It may not be the Drake that you wanted. But to say a complete Drake project is whack, it's crazy to me.
Let's not get married to that word.
Not to the caliber of what we know he's capable of.
Okay.
I only talk Drake. I only compare people to themselves.
Right.
So when I talk Drake, I'm comparing Drake to the Drake that I love. Now, even though in contrary to what my diss tracks may say and what this podcast may have said and whatever may have happened in the past year, these two gentlemen do know that I love and support Drake. Actually, in the room just now while we had that shit on and I was dancing and Sin was fucking shimmying in the bed, rolling, she was like, if Drake could see this right now, like this nigga just thinks that, I don't know what him and Nicki think. But my point being, I was going to stick to that, Maul. Mm-hmm. I was not going to address that shit at all. Mm-hmm. So then Rory comes over. We're listening on the Apple Music shit. Track 1 plays. Okay. Track 2 plays. Okay. Mm-hmm. Track 3 plays. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think track 4 is when Rory looked to me and said, I think this was when the Skepta track was on or just went off, and Rory said, I'm starting to get skeptical. Now, Rory can speak to my demeanor. At this point, I'm still quiet. I am not saying a word, right? Mm-hmm. Somewhere along the line, it's like that nigga knew that niggas had enough of the plan. I think right around Passion Fruit. Mm-hmm. Well, be clear, once I edit all the London shit off, mm-hmm. This is great music. Mm-hmm. This is a great project. This is what Views I feel like should have been.
To me, I think, because there's a mood for everything and everything Drake has done on this album, to echo what you just said, I think it's literally what he was trying to do with Views, except this one doesn't feel empty. Views felt empty. This one felt like he gave a fuck.
Well, I want us to get into that. Now, no disrespect to Skepta or Giggs. But when I want to hear that music and that style and that brand of me, I just don't want to hear it with the Drake playlist. And I think I echo a lot of American sentiments when we say that, or a lot of U.S. citizens. I don't know how many of us were ready for that. But when you edit around that, there's a lot of fire here. So now, Maul, I listened to, what is the name of it? Lose You. And I thought about something that you said a long time ago on this podcast when we were in the midst of all the Drake beef shit. You said, Drake's issue with you is, and if for those of you that don't know, Maul is a OVO mole planted here in our podcast.
For real.
Maul is the one.
Fucking mole.
You are a mole.
No, I'm not. Man.
You're the one that let me know that Drake was dissing me on a record that wasn't coming out for another 3 months. 2 months.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody.
No, everybody. No, I did not. But we don't need to get into that. It's spilled milk, water under the bridge. Mm-hmm. But damn, what was I saying just now?
Lose You.
Oh, Lose You. So
my favorite record on
I listened to. I know because you then played the album for the next 35 hours. But my question to you, Maul said Drake was probably mad, or Drake felt the way because I should have said that to him. However, I felt right about that Views album, I should have relayed to him. You said that to me. Mm-hmm. I thought that was the stupidest shit in the universe because you just don't move like that. You're not hitting somebody to give your critique on everything that they do, even if you have a relationship with them. That's how I feel, right? But when I listened to Lose You, he said that same thing. Mm-hmm. He said that. And then I felt bad, and then I felt like I owe Drake an apology. So now I want to ask you, as the OVO mole, do I owe Drake an apology? Honestly, as my friend here. Now, those of you that don't know, Maul, back when he had a great thinking, he was like my conscience, or whatever the fuck you call it. Mm-hmm. He was that for me. So he would tell me when I was wilding or not. So I'm asking you, was I wilding? Tell me, does he have a leg to stand on with that argument? And this is just for my own personal thing, and then we'll get into views. I mean, not views.
Absolutely.
More life. Are you fucking...
Yeah. Let me answer your question. Yes, I feel like you owe him an apology. But I'll tell you why. Because y'all had a relationship prior to this.
I don't like that.
Y'all had personal conversations. Y'all spoke about music before. So you got to understand, you got years of knowing Drake. I mean, y'all not the closest of friends and buddy, but y'all have known each other for years. You was around for, before Drake took off and became the mega star that he is, he was very clear in how you had an influence on him when he first began to write raps.
We got all of that, Mo.
Okay, so I'm saying there's history there. So he looks at you as someone who he feels like, come on, Joe. We've had conversations. We've had personal conversations before.
I should have called Drake.
Not saying you could have. Not saying you should have called him. You should have.
I should have texted Drake to say, "Yo, this is."
Not
I should have DM'd Drake.
Not even that, Joe. What you could have did, what you could have done, like any other time. Just wait until you ran into him. You didn't have to go to a public platform and say that. You could have waited till you ran into him in the club, like y'all have done plenty of times, and just say, "Yo, fam, I wasn't really feeling that."
I had too much invested to do that. But I don't want to get married to that.
I mean, that's what we talked about on podcast.
No, but I understand this. I understand that, but
I'm just trying to that extent. But I'm just trying to see through his eyes. It don't matter what we think, right? And it ain't malicious,
right? And that's the part that gets lost.
When you listen to I listen to Lose You, and I have to ask myself that question.
Right,
I have to. No,
well, jealous ones still do envy. So
I don't care. I mean, anybody with ears knew he was going to say something. But all right, so that leads me to my next question for you, gentlemen. And I've asked this before. Why is he dissing Tory Lanez this way?
There's a lot of Tory shots on there.
I feel like that's
Rory?
There's a lot of Tory shots on this whole album.
Man.
I'm not getting into that who's throwing shot shit with y'all no more, because I was completely wrong on the Remy Nicki thing, so I'm going to stay clear of that. But I do know that him and Tory have...
We know that he is talking to Tory when he names Tory's album title, I Told You. When he starts talking about phone conversations, only Tory had 90 phone skits saying the dumbest shit in the world. I said on this podcast, I said he must have never dealt with the feds to have those conversations. And sure enough, here comes Drake with the same fucking realization on track 1. See, that's telling to me. Not that I delved...
The third bar on track 1.
Yeah, you getting into Tory bar 3, my nigga?
Well, their thing is a little... is personal.
I was
clearly.
It's a lot of underlying things that are not known that they have an issue about. So that's a personal, very personal thing.
All right, so listen to this, and I want to get into all of these beefs, except for mine, because that's not a beef.
Are we moving on from
No.
Okay.
No, we're staying right here. But you can't tell me that, and then when he turns around and tells The Weeknd the city is bigger when everyone isn't beefing. So why not apply that with Tory? Tory now has gained some momentum. Tory is producing quality content. If y'all are not going to be friends, you two niggas, and y'all are not going to squash it, let's... Hold up for a minute, man. These niggas got these niggas fucked up.
And more tune for your head top. So watch
let's get to the fucking shits. Let's get to the shits. Let's get to it. No, I can't be the only one thinking this.
Thinking what?
You want
Tory and Drake cannot continue to fire at each other behind their fucking celebrity walls and their entourages. They both produce quality music. We want to see it. It would be great.
I don't think people are too pressed to see Drake and Tory get together and be friends. I really don't think so.
Well, what I'm saying is,
like, yo, I need a Tory and Drake collab ASAP. Weeknd, maybe that's different. Everyone was happy when Weeknd and Drake got back together because we know they make great music together.
Of course, Rory. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think they're pressed to get together, which leaves the other alternative of let's get to the shits.
I don't think they're pressed to do that, and I don't think Drake would actually really get into a full out.
Yeah, Drake is.
Maul, he dissed the man throughout the entire album.
Again,
lie. Go ahead and lie.
I'm not saying anything, man. I'm not dissecting bars no more.
I am.
I was wrong. But I do know that they have a problem with each other. I do know that. But I don't think that...
But to this extent?
Because it's a personal thing. It's two Toronto guys, man. So it's a personal thing. It's a very personal thing.
Okay, so let me go to my next question, which I've asked before in this podcast. Why is he still dissing Meek?
Well... in my opinion, I think that he has his foot on Meek's neck because when you step back and look at it, Meek really tried to finish Drake with that you don't write your own rap shit. That could have really went a whole nother way and really damaged Drake had he not been Drake.
I've said on this podcast before
that was Meek's intent. His intent was to finish Drake.
I was tired of the Meek bars, and I think y'all didn't agree with me. I just think it came to the point that Drake was so surprised how easily he won that battle that
I want us to
happy.
stop. I want us to stop saying that.
What?
We have to stop saying that. Yes, he easily out-barred him, out-tracked him.
He didn't out squeaky clean.
Musicked him. He won in every visible area you could possibly win in, right? For now.
I'll say forever.
I have to see how that plays out, Maul. That's not necessarily true. I've been saying for a while, I think Meek did a lot more damage than we'll ever know and see. And when I hear albums like this, and I hear the voicemails from his mother, I listen to the way he started this album, like it's a few things that's telling on here when they get to talking. Where are those emotions coming from? Like when his mom is speaking about him being disillusioned, that anxiety, like where is that stuff coming from? See, that's the guy that made Views. And that leads to my next point. The guy that made Views, I caught all the slack in the world from my loving critique of that album. Drake may not have liked it, but Drake is a sensitive nigga, so cool. I don't deal well with sensitive people, ever. Y'all know that, right? Nobody that heard Views and heard this album can tell me that the same man is responsible. The man that he was in the same state, in the same place, I'm saying.
Well, he
so when I was saying
that afterwards in the interview and on the album.
That's my point, Rory. If Drake is echoing these things on interviews more, and throughout the album, that album was just an album. He wasn't really him. He wasn't into it. He didn't. Then why do I get all the fucking slack? If I was right.
Because people don't like you.
But I'm saying even from him.
Oh,
like when he says, because he may have a point.
Yo, have you ever,
maybe Maul is right, and I shouldn't have gone public because of what semblance of a relationship we had. All right, cool, right?
It's
Let me just make my point because my memory's bad, right? This fucking guy. Damn it. Hold on, let me get it back. What was we just talking about?
Why was he so sensitive about it now that he's echoing it?
Yeah, so if he feels that way, and even on the fucking... Because even if he's not talking to me, I feel like on that Lose You song, when he's talking about him taking ownership of shit, like him needing closure with shit, that speaks to a man with shit going on. If he agrees that it was shit going on, and I was saying there's shit going on, and I'm concerned because this amazing man, this music is not really it. I get that the casual sheep listener would think that I'm hating and would think that I'm using this. The same thing you said about Remy. That's why I get so taken. I personally get taken aback when I hear people say that because I wasn't doing that. Like I wasn't just trying to do some shit for some attention or some shit. But that's off on a tangent. My main point is if he agrees and the fans agree, because we can agree that Views, you know, in hindsight, in retrospect, he was in a different place. Even if you enjoyed the music. It's not really the same guy. Yes, no? Speak to it.
I was
Let me hear
saying
it.
because Views, like I said before, I think that this album is what Views was supposed to be. It's just not empty. And to your point there, I think it's human nature. Have you ever told someone about themselves and they get even more defensive because they know it's true?
Yes, that happens a lot.
If he's in that state of mind and you're saying something that he knows, he's going to get defensive. It's human nature. People do that. When you tell them about themselves and deep down they know it's true, they're going to be even more angry.
No, I think Drake's him not liking what Joe said. It's not about what Joe said. It's how he said it and where he said it.
Screaming.
Yeah, it was how he said it and where he said it.
Yeah,
it's not what he said. It's not what you said. At least I don't think it's what you said because you weren't hating. You weren't saying Drake is whack. You wasn't saying none of that. Like you were professing that this is a guy that I really hold to a high regard, and he kind of like disappointed me on this one. There's nothing wrong with saying that, but it's where you say that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it can be taken a certain way. Like, why is this guy on his platform just bashing me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have that conversation face to face, I feel like it comes across different. Because now it feels like, yo, listen, fam. I'm gonna pull you to the side and say, "Oh, you all right, man? What's going on with you? Because you didn't really sound like the Drake that I love, man. What's up with you?" It comes across differently. Now, when you're on your podcast yelling, you sweating, you slapping shit and all that, it seems like there's a lot of anger there. Like this guy is angry at me.
There was a lot of anger there,
but it can be taken wrong. It was anger because this was an artist that you hold to such a high regard, and you feel like he disappointed you.
Yeah,
that message got lost because of where you projected the message at. If you project that message in a room with Drake having a conversation, I think he takes it differently. Like, damn, I ain't know Joe really cared about me like that. Like, he really asked what's going on with me. Drake probably doesn't get asked that a lot by many people. Like, yo, you all right, man? Everything good? Like, because I kind of sense something is not. He probably doesn't get asked that question much. But when you go on your platform, it just seems like you're doing something for your attention. It seems like you're doing something for your own personal reasons. You understand? Other than you really genuinely care.
Drake to get my podcast numbers up.
I mean, that's how it can come across
People
to some.
receive it that way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you're stupid, you can. But I don't want to make this about me.
Right.
I want to get back to the celebration of music, because my main point was that between Ross and Drake, I'm thoroughly pleased. I'm thoroughly pleased with everything. Round of applause. Round of applause. I'm thoroughly pleased. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. More subs. I love it.
Right.
Fucking rather you than me. Ross always rather some shit.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. I agree with the Serena sub, because I was tight when Serena popped up married, and I don't even know her. I was really upset. So I'm with Drake on the Serena subs on there. But I don't like the hotel shaming that he did. He's just the Intercontinental. He's just the Sheraton. A lot of hotel shaming from Drake in the past few years.
Well, that was my next question.
Did he diss the Sheraton?
Yeah.
Say he doesn't stay at the Sheraton no more.
No, no.
I don't remember the exact line.
He said, y'all niggas really think y'all teaming up is scaring us. Y'all niggas is arrogant. Y'all stay at the Sheraton. All that is embarrassing. Tell your old head I'm all for going there again.
Yeah, I mean,
he ain't even dying. I bought that next Ted. He's barring them niggas up, man.
Sometimes you just gotta let niggas know where you at in life, man.
I'm glad I barred his ass.
He don't stay at the Sheraton no more.
I just stayed at the Sheraton in Houston for 5 days, and it was lovely.
Drake got to stop hotel shaming, man. The Sheraton is great.
I mean, if you're not Drake, yeah.
Man, that nigga made so far gone in the Sheraton, I think.
Yeah, how far gone is he from that?
Yeah, so don't shame it when Fire came out of there.
Yeah.
What else did we come away with from this More Life album?
Some barefoot appropriation. I felt
Yeah.
I felt a little offended.
I'm pretty sure you threw your shoes on the light pole. You ain't.
Oh no, I cleaned the whole room we was listening to the album in about 5 minutes.
When I tell y'all that after that OVO set went off, that Rory then played that Drake album
again.
If it started at 6,
God forbid I listened to an album twice, right?
It's twice is what he calls that. That aired at 6. They pushed the time back to 6:30. We listened to More Life until 3 a.m. Well, Rory did.
That's a lie, but
As it was a long time. We were like, yo, this is a lot of More Life.
Well, it's More Life.
I need a break from this life.
It's
too much
great
life.
music, man. It's great music, and I mean, you know, I kind of felt like this was gonna be a dope project when I heard how he was going about it, and when the track listing came out. But I think that we can't. This album is clear that we can no longer box Drake in as just a rapper anymore.
More. We've been stopped.
No.
A rapper.
No, but a lot of people still are trying to box him into that. Like I've had this he's not rapping.
Then
he's not just a rapper.
More, you got to expand the people.
This is
who are you
people
talking to?
This is people online that I'm just reading the reactions from the album.
Man,
this is what people are saying, and that's why I'm laughing at the reactions as the album's being played, because I'm like, yo, y'all just don't get it, man. Y'all really just don't understand. He's not just a rapper.
Why is this album not an Apple exclusive?
that's a great question. I couldn't come up with a theory on it.
No, I don't know.
I was a little shocked on how something must happen behind the scenes where he was like, I'm off y'all. Well, they made their money back off views pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was probably tired of like, fuck that. I'm gonna get my money everywhere else.
They recouped $60 million in 90 days. That's amazing.
It's just him knowing his worth, I think.
Well, if I'm trying to uncover the Apple mystery here, I have to go back to know what's coming in the future. You have to look to what's happened already. If you're reading this, it's too late, right? There was no physical on that album. That was a digital only release.
I believe.
I think maybe like a few months later there was a couple, but yeah, for the most part it was.
We never found out what contract that counted against.
No, it had Cash Money on it. If you look at the bottom, it was Cash Money.
What does this have on it?
This has Cash Money on it too, I believe.
Yeah. Everything's gonna have Cash Money on it.
Yeah.
Isn't it creepy that we ended the last podcast with "I'll see you guys next time there's a beef," and then Ross immediately drops that joint, rapping over the old Hove shit, coming at Birdman.
Yeah, that song lets me know that Ross really pays attention to music. Like, he's a real fan of like music, because a lot of people don't recognize that track as being an ill track, and I've been waiting for somebody to do that record over.
Yo, I hate the people that Maul speaks to. Who don't recognize that track?
No, a lot of people don't.
Track?
A lot of people didn't even know what that track was.
Well, today, yes,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're right. Today. Yeah, that's
But
bad.
that track was like the perfect track to address somebody on.
I want to call it, of course it was a diss, but I don't know. It was more like sitting your man down saying, you wildin'. I don't even know if it was malicious.
It wasn't malicious.
I really
don't
think it was. I
malicious.
thought it was a really good approach to
Yeah.
dissing somebody, if you will.
Yeah, I don't even really call it a diss. It's just he's addressing.
I don't
something, like,
know what a diss is anymore.
I don't think that record is I wouldn't say that's a diss record.
When you address some shit, it's labeled as a diss.
When you say someone's name, it's a diss.
When you say anything other than he's the greatest fucking artist in the world, people take it as a
that
diss.
nigga said, yo, it hurt me that your ice was fake. That's a diss. That's not a compliment.
I don't know if that's a diss though. See, that's my thing. That's not a diss.
All right, so if I say to you right now, yo, it hurts me that your breath smell like chitlins and ass.
Yeah, I mean
That hurts my feelings. So because I fucking framed it that way,
yeah. It's not a diss. I wouldn't take that as a diss. And especially because Ross and Birdman have history with each other.
I don't know. I can't speak to their history. I don't know about none of that.
That's what
They've
the
been
whole
running around for.
That's what basically the record is about. Like, damn, my nigga, like I fucked with
All right,
you.
but don't tell me that. None of these rapper niggas is fucking.
Okay, in
really
rapper
unless
world,
it's Khaled
in rapper world,
only Khaled is really friends with people.
But Ross is professing how much admiration he had for Birdman.
I think the overall.
I think that's just the new way to
of the
diss
record
somebody.
was not a diss.
I think that's the new way to diss somebody. And I'm not saying that. Wait, well, that my argument I'm about to make
Because
counters
Remy
against
definitely
me-
didn't take that approach.
counters against me dissing Homeboy last year, but yeah, I
That
think
was a diss. If you need a definition, that was.
that
was 25 minutes of dissing.
I just punch harder. But I was dissing a nigga who I have all the adoration for in the world.
But see,
that's
the
what
way-
I'm saying.
The way Ross did it was not.
So that
he showed admiration in it.
yeah, but the raw shit, the cold shit to who Wale or whoever the hell he was
Kanye
talking.
and
Yeah, the new shit is yo. Let me have some words right quick with this nigga that I'm supposed to be fly with, but I'm gonna do it on a record. Yeah. That's
Birdman
the new shit.
replied, right?
Yeah, Birdman
What did
said
he
he
say?
ain't into that whole shit. Thanks, Birdman. Breaking news. Wait.
But
Breaking news live from Fort Lauderdale. I don't know where Birdman be at. Let me shut the fucking shot.
But I had mentioned when 4 p.m. in Calabasas came out that I thought, I liked the Puffy disses that was on it, but I thought, Puff he's open about not writing his rap. So to beef with somebody on record that don't really rap, I thought was odd. And it's the same situation with Birdman, but again, I don't think it was a diss the way 4 p.m. in Calabasas was to Puff. I just think he was talking to Birdman.
Yeah, I don't think that's a diss record. But people are gonna label
But
that.
in the same sense, this goes back to Joe talking about views on his platform. Ross could have had that conversation behind closed doors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the way that you address something, I think is playing a large part in how it's received.
And it was the song for your rollout. Like, you put it out the day before your album. You can make a
And
case.
that ain't really a rollout. You just put some shit out.
That's a rollout in 2017.
There ain't no such thing as a damn rollout in 2017. And to speak to my point that I made last week, I just want to cover it real quick. Back to what is a hit, that no frauds conversation we were having. No frauds doesn't feel as impactful at all a week later, does it?
No, I mean, I think we all echoed that it wasn't a hit and that it would be going soon.
So what they're doing is...
When Nicki said Remy should write a hit in the next 72 hours, I said, that's not a hit, though. So why would you say that?
So, well, today's standard is a hit, because if it gets all the streams, then it's a hit. See, that's the difference, man. Let me tell you something. I was having a conversation with, my girl. Who else do I fucking talk to? And I was trying to tell her how we gauged if joints were hot back last decade. Like, if we ain't hear your shit coming out of car, like, you probably wasn't popping like that. Like, when the weather broke and it was hot out, if the clubs wasn't, if the streets wasn't, that's how we gauged music. That's how we knew what was impactful. Today, we don't really know because we do everything from our phones. So we can't really
I think no frauds
see
confused people because we were waiting for a response from Nicki, and that was that just wasn't the right place to respond. So I think that record got lost in that. Like, it was like, it's a cool record, but that's not what the people wanted right then and there. So it's kind of like, you should have just, if you want to just put out a record, you shouldn't have addressed anything on that record. You should have just put out a dope verse on a dope record and let the people do with it, and then address the beef at another time.